Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today the recipe that I'm sharing with you all is my lamb and potato curry, which is also called Aloo Gosht, and I'm going to run through what you need and then we'll start cooking. So to make Aloo Gosht, you're going to need 1 kg of lamb, which is on the bone, and I've had it cut into big-ish pieces. I've got 3 large onions, which I've sliced finely. I've got a kettle of boiling water, which we're going to use as and when we need to when we're cooking. I've got 2 medium-sized potatoes, which I've peeled and chopped roughly the same size as the lamb pieces. I've got 3 fresh tomatoes, which I've chopped. 1 cup of oil, and the following spices I have a tablespoon each of: salt, chilli powder, turmeric powder, garam masala, coriander powder, and some whole spices. I've got a cinnamon stick, which is roughly the size of my thumb. I've got 2 black cardamom pods and 4 green cardamom pods. I've got half a tablespoon of dried fenugreek leaves and a frozen piece of ginger and garlic, and I have 5 green chillies. This is optional, and fresh coriander to garnish. So let's start cooking. So first of all, get the pot that you're using nice and hot, and then add the oil straight into that. And then straight in with the whole spices. And just give them a few minutes in there, just so that they infuse the oil. And then we can add the onions in. And you want a really nice sort of like light golden brown colour on this, and I'll show you how that looks once it's done. So the onions are now ready, and they've taken on a really nice light golden brown colour, and we can add the meat straight into that and just give it a stir. And now we can add the tomatoes into this as well, and also the ginger garlic, and the following spices: salt, chilli powder, turmeric powder, and coriander powder. So just give that a good mix. And we're also going to add a cup of boiling water, which I've just taken from my kettle, straight into that. And then just stir that through. And then pop the lid on. And I'm going to turn my hob settings to a medium to low setting, which is number 4 for me on my hob. And I'm going to let that cook away for approximately 35 to 45 minutes. And I will be checking up on it in between that time to see how it's looking. And there should be enough water in there because we've added the tomatoes as well, and they will release their natural sort of like juices as well. Yeah, but just keep an eye on it, and I'll show you how it looks once it's done. Right guys, just coming back to check on this. It's been cooking away for approximately 45 minutes, and we're going to have a look at how it looks. And there's still quite a lot of water in there, but we weren't expecting it to be all gone. It's still cooking. Now at this point we're going to check the meat to see whether it's cooked and ready for us to move on to the next stage. So just grab a piece of meat and just pop a knife right through it like that. And that's still slightly hard, so it probably needs a further 20 to 25 minutes. It just depends on the size of the pieces, and sometimes smaller pieces get cooked quickly, obviously, and bigger pieces require a little bit longer to cook. So all I'm going to do now is just pop the lid back on again and just allow that to cook for another 20 to 25 minutes, and then obviously come back and check on it and see how it's looking, and hopefully by then this should be done to move on to the next stage of the recipe. So I'll see you guys then. Right guys, this has been cooking away for approximately 20 to 25 minutes without the lid on, and the water has disappeared, and we are now going to cook this. We're going to bun it or bunify it. I'm just going to swap my wooden spoon for the spatula, so it just allows you to take off all that nice masala from the sides easily. And we're going to do this for about 20 to 25 minutes because it's important that we actually do this. And I know from start to finish it's taken quite a long time for the lamb to cook, but if you want a proper authentic lamb curry, this is how it's going to be made. I mean, you can do versions of it in a pressure cooker, which I have and I will show you at some point, but not everyone's got a pressure cooker, so it's beneficial to show you the way to do it properly without a pressure cooker. And yes, it does take a long time, but I'll tell you something, it tastes absolutely amazing, and lamb isn't something that can be made within 30 minutes. So now we're just going to cook this. I'm just going to turn my heat settings up slightly, and do be careful because it does splutter quite a fair bit, but you can see now that all that onion, all the tomatoes have broken down completely, and we've got a really nice thick masala there, and the oil has started to separate and it's coming to the surface. But another 20 minutes and that'll be perfect, and then we'll be ready to add the potatoes into this. And that is now ready for me to add the potatoes in. So in with the potatoes. And we're just going to continue to bun this for about 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do now is just going to throw in the green chillies, which I've just sliced halfway up like that. I'm leaving the stalks on because I like them like this. You can take them off if you wish, and add however many you want to add in. If you want to add more in, then do that. If you don't want to add any of these in, then fine, that's entirely up to you. So as you can see, this has been cooking away now for about 15 minutes with the potatoes in. Now the masala, which has broken down, is quite sticky and it's sticking to the meat pieces. What we want is a really nice thick runny sauce, so we can mop that up with our naan breads when we eat that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a few glasses of water into this and then cook that down, and that'll give you a really nice thick masala sauce, and it will just be gorgeous when you scoop it up with your naan bread or chapatis. So I'm going to go in with about 3 cups of boiled water. That's 3. So just give that a stir. And then what we're going to do is going to reduce the heat on this and just let that simmer away, and pop the lid on. and let that cook for about 15 to 20 minutes or just until the potatoes are tender, and I'll show you how it looks once it's done. Right guys, this has now been cooking away for approximately 30 minutes. I underestimated the potatoes, so they were quite chunky, and because I've used red potatoes instead of the normal baking potatoes that I use, I think they needed a little bit longer to cook, but this is now ready. And just look at that thick, beautiful, dark gravy masala, and the potatoes and the meat. And we're just going to finish this off now by adding the last few ingredients in. So straight in with the garam masala and the dried fenugreek leaves, which I'm just going to crush between the palms of my hands to release all that flavour and aroma. And then just give that a stir gently. A good handful of fresh coriander right on top like that. And there you have it guys, my lamb and potato curry, also known as Aloo Gosht, is ready, and I'm going to plate this up and tell you exactly how it is. Right guys, I've plated my lamb and potato curry up, and I'm just going to show you just how tender the meat is now. So let's go in for this. It's hot. That's literally how soft and flaky that meat is. So it's cooked down completely. Right guys, so I'm going to tuck into this now and tell you exactly how it is. Just try and find that piece that I broke off. It's here. A little bit of that gravy as well. Oh. Wow, the meat is so tender. It just breaks as soon as you touch it. Make sure I get some of that gravy. Wow. Honestly, it's amazing. Really, really, really good. You've got to try this, guys. Yes, it's taken a really long time to cook, and as you know, lamb does take a lot of time because the pieces of meat were chunky, but fantastic curry, guys. Try it out. I'm just going to go in for another one, because it's that good. And the spices are spot on. Slight heat from the chilli. Salt is perfect. Oh, the masala is to die for. Or if you're a fan of lamb, you've got to try this recipe out, guys. I've not tried the potatoes because I'm just trying the meat at the moment, but I'm sure the potatoes are yummy as well because I like potatoes in my curry. If you don't want to add the potatoes, you don't have to. Just continue with the rest of the cooking process and you'll be absolutely fine. But potatoes do actually add that extra bit of oomph to the dish, I think. But yeah, let me try this. It's so good. And those masalas that I added, the whole spices, you can taste them. They're in that masala sauce. The flavours penetrated in there. Guys, I'm going to leave you with this. I'm not saying anything more. Go and try the recipe out for yourselves and, you know, let me know how you get on and how you like it. If you found this recipe helpful, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then please feel free to do that. Also, hit that bell button to be notified of any updates. I'm going to leave you with this, and I will be back again with another video very soon. Till then, take care and happy eating.